NIP started out on the CT side, but were slow to get rolling, and it was Optic that took every round they could. They seized the opportunity and had an 8-0 lead. At half, it was still 9-6 with NIP's late momentum, but it wasn't enough as Optic charged, cruised, and ran away with the CT side, having won their pistol on the defense, and take map 1 of the score, our third score of the day, the same total at 16-7.
We move on to Overpass now, Matthew. I've been talking to Chad. He's given me some interesting stats about NIP and Overpass. With Lecro, they've currently played 25 maps, and 7 of which have been Overpass. They've won it 5 times, lost it twice. For Optic, they've only played the map 5 times. They've won it 3 times, lost twice. So neither team that experience with their current lineups in this particular map, but the way Optic are playing right now, it might not even be a factor. They're looking flawless.
See if that works out for NIP, because Lecro's leadership has been brought into question over the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And today, already a map down. It's not an elimination match. It is a best of 3 to determine who goes to the upper bracket and makes, I guess, short work of the event potentially, and accomplishes the goal, having won that match. But it's going to be a tough battle even if they go back against Sprout, so they need to win this. So that is a decent stat to have, I suppose, if they're that solid on Overpass.
Absolutely. This is where NIP should be doing most of their work, but the factor I see being a problem for them, as I said at the beginning, the AWP. Yugi is looking on point today. He has throughout the entire tournament. It's a very AWP-centric map on both sides. You can have the CT side AWP, that's very powerful, and the T side AWP battling it as well. NIP have the AWP online for them. They're going to have Forest wielding it, Lecro, Rez, everyone's going to be trying to pick it up at some point. We'll see whether it works out for them. They're going to do the knife round now. Not a huge significance on Overpass, doesn't have the same implication as it does on Nuke, but it is always beneficial to start on the CT side if you can manage it. It's not like usual tournament, there's always a knife round at the beginning of every map, regardless of who picked it. And we'll see who comes out on top there. NIP, like you said, very slow to get going, but promising towards the end of Nuke. Wasn't a complete whitewash, so good to see Gerai posting decent numbers and some high impact moments. It will look like Optic are going to win the knife here. Whereas left in a 3 versus 1. He might actually win this though, he does. So NIP now starts CT side. So there we go. We're going straight into pistol round, no pause, says the admin. It will be the CT side start potentially from Optic here. NIP haven't swapped over just yet. Third map will be Inferno, the classic decider. And there it is. It will be Optic starting CT side. NIP choose to start T side. So I think Optic would have chosen CT as well. So they're happy with that. We'll get into the first round. We'll have a look at the buys as they come in. Lecro's gone for the P250. 1 smoke, 1 flashbang. I remember that NIP do like to go towards B, but obviously you don't have to. You can change things up. You're aware that the opposition have seen your demos. You need to have a few pistol rounds in the chamber, maybe 2 or 3, and you choose which one to deploy. Snappy will be challenging first. No shot landed, but did spot a couple towards the T steps there.
So a push toward the construction position for Config. And go along with Gade. Meanwhile, it's out toward long. The NIP look to make their mark as Rez will take the charge just with the Glock. Does have Forrest immediately beside him. Same weapon. Kit for Yugi. Smoke as well. See if that kit comes into play. See if the bomb plant even happens for NIP. They're slow so far to establish any territory, but now they get toward the bathrooms, closer to Snappy. He wants to get baited in by Yugi on a pistol round bait from that far. Not likely. They usually check the corner no matter what, so instead he wants to take the fight.
There we go. Snappy spots a couple and smartly decides to fall back. There's a pretty compromised position behind the flower bed. Smoke coming in towards CT spawn. They'll flash in. 4 players towards middle. Forrest alone along. It's up to Yugi now to open things up. The flashbang's very effective. Pushes them right back towards the bank there. NIP with the first kill. This is looking much better by them. Struggled with both pistols on Nuke, but now the bomb's going down. The retake begins, and Yugi indeed does have the kit, but frags coming in thick and fast for the Ninjas. It will be looking like a guaranteed round for them at this point. 5 on 2. Cajun and Gade with it all to do. Dennis avoids death, and a great smoke finds him both kills. Lovely work with that USP. Great round in general from the Ninjas there. 5 players survive, presumably the force buy from Optic. As we get to number 2 here. Dennis, very calm and precise pistol player. Get right opening things up. That smoke was absolutely perfect. Not only did he segregate the 2 players, gave the second one a grey screen there. So looks like Optic will be having a couple of players who are investing significant cash. Snappy takes himself down to $50 with the CZ and helmets, and the rest of them with upgraded pistols. Config has 4 sport as well with Deagle armor.
Rez Works his way toward long again. They'll drop the bomb intentionally beside the picnic area. I usually bring bombs to picnics too.
Yeah.
Food makes me gassy. Right. Dennis, meanwhile, will start to clear bathroom. Smoke still down. And IP with a good start so far with pistol. They want to keep that streak alive. I say streak one round, but keeping momentum and form. Keeping everyone alive in this round would certainly lend itself to that as Rez clears and now heads toward the flower pot. No sight or vision of anyone deep within A. Back toward the bank stairs. Snappy, however, this is clever. Will start to push up, start to take the helm. And potentially pull things around with the CZ. If he can get one kill, it'll divide them and allow, with a rather aggressive defensive stance on A, not only information in their favor, but a chance to pounce on a scattered NIP. Dennis, meanwhile, goes out and will have to find Gade in the corner. Long the attack. Snappy's running at this point to try and get behind them. He might be too little too late. They're already going to be on the site. The flank might be expected at that point. Good response. Lekro actually getting that kill to save Dennis at that point in time, and now they'll converge toward the truck. Get right finding Cajun. Forced to find Config. It is Snappy and Yugi left in, surprisingly, just 3 players, or 2 versus 3, with low HP. There's still a chance Snappy becomes applicable, and he does. He'll find Dennis. He's got Dennis, excuse me, in front of me, finds Forrest. Dennis with 11 HP. Now he gets him, and it's 9 seconds. Bomb not planted. The flank is certainly going to pay off as Get Right has to find it inside of the smoke and commit to the plant. Just barely get on it with 4 seconds. They're going to try and hunt him down, but they can't find him. They do now.
Who would have thought Optic win that round with the force buy in the second? It was looking so promising. The positions were great for NIP. They made good map progression, made their way through, commit to the side, and Cajun B starts raising hell with the Desert Eagle, finds the shots, stops the bomb going down, and Snappy switching towards long. As soon as he guarantees that kill on Forrest, that for me was round over. You could see the low HP Dennis trying to get back towards the truck, and they just spam Get Right down. He gets to plant though, meaning they probably will be force buying back. We'll have the Eagles and 1 AK actually. Forrest gets that, so definitely still in contention for this round, but you can see 2 AKs brought over by Optic. They get a full array of rifles. Snappy nades towards the T-steps. I think he narrowly missed out on those, so no damage inflicted. It bounced off the wall slightly. And he'll fall back. Didn't take too much damage himself, just 14.
Snappy to hold with the M4 still. Config, AK-47 will get up behind the smoke that exists currently at the sandbag, so to the smoke at the bathroom, so Snappy still in position, cannot spot anyone. Anyone being Dennis on the other side. Boost as well, nice little foot. Boot tread, looks like a size 11. Good all-weather, probably steel toe, as would be regulated. Good shot, Yugi. Patience pays. Rez does find one on Config. That's back over toward B, where we mentioned he was trying to play by those sandbags, so overstayed his welcome. That gives a gun to Rez. And the fact that they had the boost out in the bathroom, Cajun's got a problem because he's missed some shots. That leaves him open to Get Right, but good recovery. Recovery that yields him 2, drops the bomb temporarily. Forrest finally gets there. And it's a 2 versus 2 with a chance here because armor for the NIP players as well as 100 HP with that AK. Cover the bomb for Lekro. Snappy getting closer with that smoke down. Doesn't get the chance to fire at the target, which is Forrest because he was dropping. Committed to falling inside of the pit, but bomb dropped yet again with 20 seconds. They know where Forrest was. They don't exactly know where he is. But they should be able to sort it, solve it, and Snappy does exactly that.
Cajun B dancing with the devil with that, holding the barrels. They didn't check his position, but he misses the insta-kill. But repositions, calms himself down, gets 2 kills, and saves the round. That was beautiful by Lekro. We know he's got one of the scariest Eagles on the server right now. It's Snappy finishing things off. Nice little push, knowing the time was running down, and Forrest still had to collect the bomb. Optic, after losing the pistol, have come back in full force and taken NIP down to just the eco here. P250s and Glocks, no armor. As Cajun and Snappy look to force the issue here, get some intel, at least call it an early B attack. Should be easy pickings here as they get the first kill. Funnel them in towards Yugi's M4. He'll probably go down here, get a couple of kills, but that should secure the round still. There's now just 1 player remaining, that's Rez. Got the M4, just going to try and get the plant down here. Gets a smoke as well, could actually be working out for him, so that's actually would have been great. But I thought it was going to go down. Gade denies it, so well played by him. 3-1, and another buy for an IP, but no AWP potential. Not a big deal considering this NIP lineup. It's not like they're relying on Draken to use the AWP.
It's true.
We'll see whether they can use these 5 AKs effectively.
Our second best of 3 of the day. Remembering, of course, that we have an elimination match this evening and a third best of 3. So one team will be knocked out of the playoffs today, leaving us with 3 to sort the 2 spots tomorrow.
So Sprout already waiting down there.
Exactly.
So the loser of this game plays again.
Yep, back to back. Forest out toward the trees at long. Yuki's patient with the AWP. He's not moving at all, in fact, and he's got support from Snappy against the wall, far out. As long as utility doesn't catch him, good find from Get Right, mind you. Opening pick. We know he likes to work toward the water in B. Everyone does, surely, at this point. Ooh. Good reaction from Forest as Snappy looked like he was going to catch him off.
He's had a few troublesome moments, so that's much better. Yuki's going to be taken down as well. That's the buddy system coming into full effect. 4 versus 2 now, as Dennis decides to pounce towards the A side. It's Cajun B left in no man's land.
Yeah, not a good... Oh, gets away with it. Gets away with it! Not only that, turns around and rips Dennis out of it as well. I thought he was going to get caught at bathrooms because he was awkwardly positioned.
Well, Forest low HP now. They'll make their way back towards B. Get Right holding connector. Still looks promising for an IP, but there is rotation. Config will make his way in towards the site. He's got the MP9. If he finds Forest, denies that plan, that could be everything. Weapon not really a factor there. Get Right has to try and protect him here, and he'll just hold on the side. Config is playing this incredibly smartly. They don't really have time to check absolutely everything. They might not even go past the bomb site. If Config just gets that kill on the planter, even if he goes down, that should be the round. Dinks up Get Right, 2 on 2 still, but the plant will come through, and Config's going to deny absolutely everything here. So the plant comes in, but still, they'll be happy with that. They win the round. We've got a little bit dicey. Occasion B. Especially how has he done that? At one point was a full-time AWPer for a couple of years, and now seems to have moved away from that, focusing on the rifles. And how is he looking? That was a great shot as well. But this was a fantastic play, nice and calm, turns around, and just showing that he was known for the AWP for a long time. He wasn't ever considered, I would say, a world-class AWP, but always just decent. But with his rifle, I think he's got such a great understanding of the game. He can just position himself smartly like that and knows what to do in those high-pressure moments.
Yeah, played a hybrid op role, in TSM,
yeah.
Where he was CT-sided opping. Kerrigan was CT-sided some maps, then they had Device going aggressively with it on the T side at times. It really depended. And then when he went to North, then he was primary.
Yes.
So you're right, and that's where he kind of made himself known as the opper. I agree, never world-class, never overly flashy, but looking good on the rifles again.
Yeah, absolutely. That was really well played by him. Just did what he had to do to win that round. Nothing too flashy, won't be a memorable moment, but just very smart, cerebral gameplay there as we go 4-1 in favor of Optic. Here's a buy from an IP with the bomb going down. You can see the severe lack of any sort of grenades. They've got 3 smokes. That is absolutely it. No AWP as of yet for them. Good start from Optic. Remember, they lost the pistol as well. So they've bounced right back into this one. They're already a map up. Not an elimination game, but still, Optic can progress through this. They meet Ents in the upper bracket. It will be tomorrow.
Cajun, quick check again to the front side of the bathroom. Smoke down. Trying to delay at any possible position that he can. Minute to go. That's going to bleed out a little bit more utility, but they've still got 3 smokes on the CT side, so not looking too terribly for them. Snappy, well aware that that smoke went sky high above him. The flare. Shot from Yugi. He knows he's wide. Snappy couldn't win it even with that information. Good read from Forest. Takes a lot of damage for it. And Yugi take matters into his own hands. He'll push up with the AWP. On top of that, Cajun's got 1, and he transfers inside of the site behind the smokes. That's going to give him the ball. Nearly took his teammate down. A bomb down. He can control the situation. Still with smokes to work with. Knows that Rez is somewhere near the truck. And he's just trying to buy time for his teammates on rotation. But great response from Lekro.
Cajun pulling out all the stops once again. Only 1 kill, but he's delayed that plan for so long. Yugi can see the bomb. What a horrible angle that is. If they had a flash, they might have a chance here. Time ticking away. How do they even get close to the bomb? That will do it, but the kill comes in. Lekro left in a 1 versus 1. Goes to the fake plant, and he's got Yugi. Absolutely well played. He took some balls to go for that fake plant and then peek him out. Yugi assumed that'll be a plant for bank or something like that. And he gets taken down. A close round, but a significant one. As Lekro shows us how powerful he can be with the AK-47. Fake plant there. Knows that Yugi's in this position. And completely outplays him. Well done. And will be a force by here from Optic. Not the best. 2 UMPs at Eagle. And a couple of M4s here. Trying to shut down the fact that NIP have no cash built up. So they can steal this round away. They're already a map up. They can afford to take some gambles here. If they can win this round, it'll be so huge for them. It might completely stop NIP in their tracks. They have got the advantage in the weaponry, of course, but Snappy has been losing out a lot of these duels initially. Probably the same outcome here, but here's Yugi on the shelving. Takes down 1. Can he find a second? I don't believe he can.
Yugi takes down both Lekro and Rez. Dennis responds, but Cajun's able to pounce from the front side of the bathrooms and kill him in return. Get Right still trying to do typical Get Right things over toward B. Forrest will approach it long. Get Right's going to go back to the bomb and join him, so it's the old guard. With their old age comes loss of vision. The flash landing in front of Forrest. Spotted already. Maybe not. I thought Cajun would have seen that. Somehow isn't taken down, but is very low and with 6 HP gets away. That should have been a kill, and it comes back to Haunts, and Forrest will be very annoyed by that.
That's insane. How's Config won that duel, and Forrest, yeah, that says it all. It's been a rough tournament. He's had some good moments, but there's also been some disasters as well. To be fair, that was just unfortunate. He jumps past. He didn't exactly miss. It was just an awkward shot. But Config, he definitely didn't miss either. What a precise Eagle headshot. They answer back. They shut down the money. And there's another force buy, but we have said it time and time again. NIP are excellent in these rounds. We'll see if they can do it again. It's everything they've got invested into round number 8. Trying to pull this one back. If they don't, it's full eco. So now it's Optic with no AWP still, and that's why NIP want to force buy, the exact same reason Optic did before. Don't allow them to establish themselves.
Forrest all the way back to long to take a peek. This is, I mean, remember, this will be the 4th, we said it yesterday a number of times, but it'll be the 4th major cycle that NIP do not qualify for. It's unacceptable, and they know the pressure. They understand that entirely. Which is why Forrest looked a bit of a shambles at the end of that round. So Yugi back out with the smoke, will hold off front side. A bathroom Snappy will get in position therefore to cover the inside, but making a lot of noise and doing it. They certainly know he's near the park sign. Can they work off it or not? Additional smoke for Yugi. Gives him more to work with as they throw smokes above it. He knows they're coming through, wants to hug the smoke therefore and catch them on the way in, but good shot from Dennis. Reaction shot on the Deagle. Now Snappy's in trouble because the run is left as well as he nearly snaps it back. I think he dinked Dennis?
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Nonetheless, Cajun's able to burn him alive as a result of it. A bomb will still go down, however, for NIP.
Well, time is of the essence now. 2 UMPs to defend against 3 Optic rifles. Smoke dissipates towards CT. Steps, Gade, playing so well. He is above his experience. Now, Get Right. This would be some clutch if he can pull this one off. Fortunately for him, they have got a smoke. They can just smoke on top of the bomb. And at that point, that should be it. He'll have to come out and face at one point. The bomb's ticking at some pace. If he just gets this one kill, could be enough. The defuse is already coming through. Not going to happen for him. Decent attempt. All he could do there, really. I was hoping he could get that first kill. Maybe his low HP player defusing. But overall, 6-2. Bomb planted. Still an eco for an IP. There we go. Cajun B, 12 frags. Certainly the MVP, I would say, so far in this second map. Remember, both of these teams pretty inexperienced overall in terms of the rosters. NIP playing the map 7 times, Optic just 5. That's official games, I should note. Obviously, they've practiced it much more than that.
Snappy all the way to the park. Cajun with him. Not directly over his shoulder, but watching at least the fountain side. So too Yugi watching connector, so all approaches covered. And so far, so good as 2 kills and make it down 3, go their way. And Cajun finds the 3rd. All 3 that have gone aggressive have found success. Get Right somehow snuck in behind them. That must have been when Cajun went toward the playground. Either way, does what he can with the CZ. It's not going to be enough. 7-2 for Optic. They continue to stretch their legs and stretch the lead.
Absolutely, looking very good. Still no orb for Yugi. I guess it's not a factor. He's playing very well with the M4. They've got strong money, 5 rifles, no reason to throw them away. They'll stay on this as long as it works out for them. NIP by not as strong. You can see they definitely had the rifles available to them. 2 Galils though. They could have got AKs. I think they wanted to go for a set piece here and get the smokes out, the flashbangs they need. So a couple of players in the form of Lectro and Get Right are compromised in terms of their firepower, but that was not exactly a useless weapon, similar to the M4. A little bit less power.
Oh, config.
That was pretty special, wasn't it? AK-47 handled it like an absolute pro there. And now Gade protects him as a fullback. They've got away with it. He takes significant damage, but he's out scot-free. 2 kills found, round number 10. And NIP will not be able to perform the set piece they had in mind.
Not only that, they're going to the underpass in desperation to find a kill back. Certainly one way to shut them down. Optic giving very little room to work with for the Ninjas. They will have to use all of their sneaky skills to try and pull this round back. Door already open toward water. No one boosted or jumping to try and see as Get Right gets in position. Silently works back down. And to the sandbags. Low HP for Config. Chance they find him on entry. And if they do that swiftly enough and find Gade, who has a nade out, they might still pull the round back. Good hold from Config on the angle to get res. That certainly makes it more problematic because they don't end up in a 3-on-3. Instead, they're down a man and make that doubly so from Lecro, at least getting one back on Yugi. Round still to Optic, 8-2.
8-2. Decent attempt. Some sort of a comeback there, a resurgence with a couple of kills coming through for Get Right and Lecro. Gets them a plant and another buy. But still not looking too good for them. 8-2 down. But they've won the pistol. And that's pretty much it. They managed to win 1 round after that with the pistols. Still overwhelmed in these gun rounds. 2 smokes, 1 flashbang, bare bones at best. They do have firepower now. Yugi with the first excursion with the AWP. Snappy's got in such a promising spot. Before he gets taken down here, though, he has been a little bit over-aggressive some of these challenges, but they're still winning the rounds. He loses out to another 1 versus 1 there. Opening pick. Get Right gets tagged up. He's towards Monster. Gade pushes past. It looks like he's done for here. Forrest has struggled with some of the kills here, but Get Right certainly not. That's another one for him.
That's a lineup. Oh my god, I thought he would line up the first 2. He actually snapped and came back to get Lecro.
He gets 3 there? His teammate actually jumps.
Bless you.
Excuse me. He actually jumped and they were so focused on getting that 1 player, they even knew Gade was towards Monster. They've already spotted him in the form of Get Right, and he gets all 3. Perfectly played by Gade, and that steals the advantage away. Got the opening pick on Snappy. Found a trade in B, and all falls apart. They'll try the luck back towards the A bomb site. Yugi's waiting there, the York. Very defensive hold.
Dennis still swinging around, has the AK in hand. Backstairs to worry about. Bomb trying to get to the site. So Dennis is clearing but can't rest on it. He's got to make sure that it's entirely covered off on the angles in which his teammate will approach as well, which is why he goes to the stairs. What a quick reaction from Yugi.
He wasn't even scoped up then. He was actually waiting to get a quick scope.
That's pretty impressive.
He's just waiting for it. He's so
and the
confident
reason
in
being,
his ability.
yeah, exactly that. Very confident in his ability, but also wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to come from the left, because if he was pre-scoped, no chance he hits the left shot. So
yeah,
that certainly is confidence. Still bomb planted. More money for NIP, but more rounds against them, potentially. In a 1 versus 3, it's Get Right that has to clutch it back. Molotov to the truck, so they aren't sure of his angle. Great first shot on Gade, keeping things efficient, keeping things clean, keeping him with 37 HP, and a massive chance to actually pull this off, because they've got to go for the bomb. It's been ticking for some time. He's hiding as well, which means he gets Yugi. It pulls Cajun off. This Get Right might pull back. A 1 versus 3 with 4 kills total in the round, but Cajun, bomb's gone. Okay, fair enough. It's Get Right still to win it out.
Where's the energy from NIP? Look at them on the screen now. No one seems to care about that massive round Get Right has got for them. Like, do you see what I mean? Like, sure, I get it, you're a map down and it's not going too well, but how are you going to get people's heads in the game with the old boys like Chris when he wins around like that? Why are you not getting everyone fired up? Let's go. It's very quiet, I have to say, but still, great stuff by Chris. You can see the hard work he put in last night. He said he put like 5 or 6 hours into deathmatch and FPL, and looking very good in some of these rounds. Still, though, all 5 went down for NIP, so they win the round, sure, but they need to take a tactical timeout and work out how they recover here. Get a bit more cash. Need to get their heads in the game here. Need to see that fire, that hype. We know players like Chris can be very emotional. If there's no one there to really help them out. Do you remember when Michael Eddie was in this team?
Yes.
That's when Chris was playing his career best CS because he had someone building him up and getting him in the game and cheering him on.
And that's true because there's a reason he sits at the end of the row as well, because oftentimes he is the loud one that they often have to separate because of that. So having someone with him certainly maybe betters the emotion. Interesting point.
It's feel no one's cheering each other on. No one's like commending each other. It's weird. Rush B looks thinks. Flashed up. Should be 2 kills here for Config. Asia B chiming in as well. Absolute clean sweep.
That's ridiculous. After NIP win a clutch,
so
a 1 versus 3.
Timeout. Tactical timeout being the operative word there. Tactical. And they come up with the Rush B. And I don't know.
And lose all their money. Another reset.
That wasn't even challenging for them, was it? It wasn't like a set piece or anything. There was 1 flashbang thrown and they had to run through smoke. It's a great hold by Optic, but there's a lot left to be desired. And now, is this the 4th buy from NIP? I believe it is. So they've invested everything they've got, 9-3 down.
Shot out, Slackrow success, snip with Deagles. Pulling it back as Dennis through the smoke as well is able to find Snappy. Still they work off of each other. Op available to them as well at the top of the connector stairway. And the defense, Glade and Gade. It's a mix, a hybrid between both Gade and Glaive.
Yeah. Again, Matt, there's these pistols that keep NIP in this game. If they could get some of their gun rounds together, they are so deadly, these pistols. That is a massive thing. When they get more time together and they get better as a unit and they kind of establish themselves and how they want to play, they're going to win games purely in the fact they can win pistol rounds and force buys time and time again.
Rez, again, showing off the form. They went for the 1-1 split, hoping that the rifles would prevail. Gade now has to save as Nip find a 4th round. A very unlikely 4th round. Flash thrown out toward the high side of mid in hopes that he'll mislead them.
Let's just break this down quickly then, Matt. They've won pistol. They won a 4-spy round for the number 2. Get Right won a 1 versus 3 for their 3rd. And now it's another pistol victory for their 4th. It's really not good news when that's when you break it all down the rounds they've won. There's not been a convincing gun round where they've looked like they're the better team. Obviously, these all count and these are great to pick up, but it just doesn't bode well for the rest of the game if you can't consistently win gun rounds yet.
Caught napping was Gade. Perhaps in conversation elsewhere. Optic pick up the round. AWP still available to them on the CT side, although there's not a massive wealth. Just enough to force out, including a 2nd op. So they go double. Cajun isn't going to be wielding 1. It's going to be Yugi on the 2nd with Config to pick it up. So excuse me, Config on the 2nd with Yugi to pick it up. So Config is going to go toward B with his. Monster used to be more popular. Early days of Overpass, picking Monster quick with an op was actually a thing.
Yeah.
But it's boost instead to try and see toward water.
You can nade that boost. You can flash it, then peek. Double peek from the connector door. See what they go for.
Flash out. That'll clear off the flowers, at least to a satisfactory level to allow Dennis to wrap around it toward the trees. 2nd rock. Already pushing into Cajun B's position at the bathrooms then. So too, as Snappy watches, is Rez, and he's heard him drop off of the picnic, so he knows he's close. That's why his attention has gone back toward where the smoke formerly was. Lekro working out from stairs is the 1st angle. Good find from Snappy. Waits for Rez. Tried to pre-fire it as well, but could not. Rez finds the kill and return, and now Cajun's got problems because they're on either side of him. Hence, you see the op of Yugi trying to find an angle, but realizing he can't get one, will go back to long at the park sign instead.
This is better now. This will be a convincing gun run victory if they can do it. We'll see whether they find this 4-on-3 advantage as a boost orb on orb. A tower of orbs, Matt.
Yeah, that's almost a redundancy, isn't it?
Yeah.
The 2nd one down below. Supposed to be protecting the close angles. Still, though, they make it work, but not so much with the boost, rather with the retreat config. Catches out Dennis on approach from long. Smoke down. Forrest is going to plant at an off angle so as not to be sprayed because he's low. Good hold from Rez. Goes back, finds the second. Knows that Gade's still going to be working through from the stairs. Pistol won't do it. And Gade, time enough to catch Get right in rotation back toward the bathrooms. Has it down to a one-on-one versus Forrest. On an AWP that won't get the shot. Gade gets it. Forrest goes far too wide, and it's another defuse and another round to Optic 10-4.
He ran out on the open with low HP, I guess. He was hoping the bomb angle would suggest Gade was going to run to the left and go straight on it, but he's offers himself up before he even thinks about touching the bomb. Another massive round there from Gade to find Optic double digits. What a showing he's had here. And this is the play here. I don't understand why Forrest is that. Not only can he not see the bomb, he's also exposed himself to low HP. I think it'd be getting to about the halfway point there. I think maybe he just play it as long as possible. Try and allow him to fake defuse a couple of times. But no, down he goes. Want to try and surprise him, I guess.
Rez. Dennis. It's a long Dennis with a deagle. And this is the last round of the first half. Desperate for 10-5 or NIP. Dennis, being the man with the deagle, will also be the man to throw out utility early and likely lead the charge toward the site. So too, if they can get further smokes with the players at Bathroom, namely Lekro and now Forrest, who trails just a few steps behind Dennis, potential to trade off him. And if he's even able to get the kill before in which Dennis is spotted, they can get a gun into his hands. An upgrade from Snappy, but Snappy par 2 as he gets back out. Lekro off of him will get the shot back. It's Rez they lose. Dennis can still get a gun from that, but he's committed forward. Gets the M4 instead. Yugi off close, finds one. Too close, but gets away with it nearly. Gets the shot back to Dennis, who wraps around. Low HP for Lekro. Bomb again to be planted. It's Get right to do so behind the truck as Gade wants back in. It's chaotic. And Dennis to hold it. They may pull this back. It's 1 versus 3 again for Gade. No way he pulls it twice. Low enough HP, he has a chance at it.
He could do this. That's the scary thing. If he had a smoke, I would say, and a kit, it's on. But he has neither of those things. Buys whenever he could, and down he goes. Lekro will find the 5th round. They've won the pistol. I think 2 gun rounds in total there. Fair play. I can't even argue with the fact they're so good on the pistols. It really is a strong factor for this team going forward. Sure, the composition might not be there right now as they work things out as a new in-game leader, but when this team starts to stabilize, they're going to be difficult to beat. Purely the fact they can win consistent pistol rounds of this setup and the they can win the force buys on their side as well. The CZs and Deagle potential is just off the scales and keeping NIP in the conversation at this tournament.
The unfortunate part of that is this is the event they needed to be in shape for. So the last minute changes Lekro into the in-game leading. You're right, they certainly show great potential on the force buys. But it's this cycle they want back into the major with. Of course, the challenger stage, as it now is not, the qualifier counts for that. Get right, gets one. Thankfully, a smoke extinguishes the flames because he was fully blinded standing on, and that could have cost him his life. Instead, he survives with 75. That's good enough to find Yugi. Watch Cajun B. No such luck. I thought with a smoke to his right, he might get a shot toward Catwalk. That's not going to happen, and Nip finds 6.
Both pistols now in favor of NIP. Will the force buy come out of Optic? They won it before. It suggests they could do it again. Deagle armor from Config. Snappy joining him, so there we go. They will force into this round and see what they can do with it. 17 here. Nice pistol display from NIP there. Always going to be slightly better on the CT side. That's where Dennis and co are renowned, especially Forrest at USP as well. Fantastic player with that particular weapon. So what's the approach here from Optic? They've got 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs. Looking for those juicy 1 digs, but heavy rifle focus from NIP. They want to keep the range. Yeah, right, struggling with the initial encounter. Down he goes. The Rez there to pick up the pieces. Nice reposition from him to get towards the bathroom. Dennis surely gets at least one of these players, but will be traded out. Still uncomfortable here for NIP, but no rifles gathered as of yet. No kits just to know. Config waiting towards the B site, and he'd be right in doing so because Lekro will be smoked out, and that's going to be granting them a planting map. No kits, remember, and they've got a flashbang. No rifles, but they're so good at these pistols as well. Danes always seem to be crazy with Desert Eagles. If they pull this one back again in the second round, it's going to be so detrimental to NIP, not only to their morale, But obviously the finances and the overall complexion of the half. Good kill from Lekro, but Config found one as well. Retake begins. They have to get their skates on here. Time is of the essence. Config tagged up, but somehow still alive here. Yuki's going to swing out, but that should be round now. I can't see Config winning this one. And that's going to be fine. They've got the defuse, no problem. So there it is. NIP managed to get past this one. That'll be 7 rounds on the board. A little bit uncomfortable. The bomb goes down for Optic, so they at least get some money for the first gun round there. They'll take an eco now. Very scary scenes. Especially when Lekro was taken down. Removed by the smoke.
Taken down indeed. But it's NIP that had the momentum to try and finally make a contest. 7 rounds is all they achieved in the last game. Looking likely they'll go beyond that now. Small sample size from both these teams on this map. You mentioned it. But Nips was impressive. Cajun down below with Snappy will start to work in the underpass. It's Get Right to defend against them with MP9. He's dinked up early, 12 HP, and a second player still approaching. That's Cajun. That'll get the kill. Config, meanwhile, is back toward the bathrooms. Deagle in hand. He'll work toward Rez. And nearly catching him does on the second shot. Will take him out of the picture and put a man advantage to the favor of Optic. The MP9 in the hands of Cajun. I want to call that what it is. It does certainly help on approach. If they can close the angle and close the distance, they'll put Config back up again to try and find a shot. Dennis that he's looking for.
Remember, they have no armor here. Shouldn't be able to win this round. This was just them looking to get a plant out, but Config still looking dangerous as he inflicts more damage out. Dennis takes down Cajun, but still 3 versus 2. Gade has made his way out from long. Matthew, this is looking horrible now. This was pretty much full eco. Some Deagles, no armor, no nades. 3 versus 1 now. Forrest pretty far away from the situation as well. He's going to go for it. Nade towards the bathrooms there, just on top of the bomb site. And now he has no smoke, no incendiary, 1 flashbang. Has got the kits. But they can even afford to sacrifice 2 players to disrupt his fake defuse attempts here. Not even going to get that close. It's Config. 2 kills and Gade with a perfect flank from long. Oh, that's such a disappointing moment for NIP. That should have been their round. Not only does it completely destroy them financially,
Yep.
it grants Optic another round, and there's lights to fire beneath them. Config and Gade getting it done. Look at him go. That shot especially, how has he pulled that one off? Through the bomb site, straight to his head. And it's the force by now from NIP. This might be the last chance. They go down 12-7, they'll be eco, then there's 13-7. I don't see them recovering. But either way, they'll give it a go. They've won so many of these rounds so far. 1 M4 for Dennis. Currently top bragging with 16 kills. Lekro not far behind on 15. Forrest unfortunately 6 in 15. But can still turn this around. It all starts here.
Config waiting as well. Get Right to hold with Forrest. Interesting little crossfire. It's a tough one. It's certainly a brawl. Get Right's got a bit of evasion. He can get back toward the site. Forrest, not so much in that position, so kills required. Trade's acceptable. The boost for the M4, the only gun for NIP.
That's a nice idea, though. It's a boost we don't actually see that often anymore.
It's true. Used to be very common, specifically for SK.
Yes.
Or now MIBR, I should say. And it works perfectly as well, because he transitions to long and finds another. He's stuck against the fence, but that's fine. They've gotten 2 kills from it. Damaged as well. Dennis might be the man alone to do this with the M4. The single gun. He's got 3 of the 4 kills, and he'll add a 4th in total to himself. It's now 11-8. Good recovery from NIP.
Done it again, Matt. Pistols in the M4. I like the look of that boost, and you can see why it works out perfectly. Dennis keeps the dream alive. And just to reposition, baiting his teammates. And we find ourselves now a very interesting crossroad in the game. That was when NIP I thought would be out of it, but now they've swung it back in their favor once again.
Molotov down toward the underpass. Forest aggressive again to get out toward the water position. Gate holds off by Monster as Config is also there. Get right trying to get a little bit of luck on his side. Damage applied, more so than a kill with the UMP. No such fortunes. Forest. Gate. Shoulder shows. Again, a boost pays off for an IP. Starting to use some tactical teamwork.
Config, though, going to be taken down surely. Good flashbangs, and Yugi will suffer a similar fate as Snappy will bring it into a 3 versus 2 now. Okay, Rez. You find this kill, that will guarantee the round go down. Could gift it back. Occasion B picks up the orb once again. It's been a while. See whether he can find this opening kill to grant them access towards the B side. Forest sits patiently on the ramp, doesn't need the information, just wants to deny that plan, run the clock down as low as possible. He knows it. Occasion with no opportunities here to find the first pick. I don't think Optic can win the round now. It's too well held by NIP. Got everything covered, not giving anything away, playing this perfectly. Occasion should be dropped in the next couple of seconds. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
Snappy still to work back in and try and recover. 1 versus 3. First 2 shots not successful. Does manage eventually to find Forrest, but the other 2 converge too quickly. 11-9. As that IP continue to add up the rounds and close the gap. Optic still look composed. Ruga giving them a tap on the shoulder, but it's going to be a sit back and wait round. Forced by the pistols, but not much armor. Keep their money around the 2K mark. Loss bonus only going to be at 1,900 this round, 2,400 the next.
Much better from NIP. Another force buy victory, courtesy of Dennis. Shutting down the force buy of Optic has given them a realistic chance now. They're on the CT side. Sure, they're still 2 rounds down, but this is pretty much full eco. Should be able to bring it into double digits, and money won't be amazing for Optic at that point still. If there was a chance to take us to a 3rd, this would be it. Put themselves right back in it now.
Raz holding by bathrooms. There's a smoke down to his right and Gate on the inside of it. Shots from inside of the side are supposed to be suggestive of position and to assist in Rez. Designate spot, not quite. Molotov won't allow him. Rez, bit concerned that his team's Molotov was going to reach his feet. Dennis is on 2 HP, but does win out the exchange to start off against Config. Here we go for Rez. Angle covered off, has to peek wide, make sure the bathrooms are clear on both fronts. Does exactly that, and Get Right finds the man at long, leaving us with Yugi and another round at IP. As expected against the Pistols, we go 11-10 within 1.
1 round will do it. NIP looking composed now. They know they can bring this one back. 21 kills with Dennis. The shining lights of NIP so far.
Gade. He's been impressive, no doubt about that. 13 kills for him this time. He's not quite on the level of Cajun B, who's got 20, having a phenomenal game, but Dennis leads all. Forrest is a bit quiet. We saw his emotions earlier. Rez. Fountain finding Config and getting away as well. Good smokes to allow him to run off. No one close enough nearby for Optic to get the trade. And Gade as well has taken a substantial amount of damage over on the B side of the map.
Lovely stuff. Rez continuing to apply the pressure. Opening kill, takes no damage. Gade tagged up as well. Optic starting to drop off. Could we see the 3rd? The conversation begins now. Already a map up. Very convincing victory on Nuke. Slowly does it. Snappy challenging the ice here, but he comes out on top. He struggled with the 1v1 duel, Snappy, but that one's much better for him. Rez for his 2nd kill. Snappy, he does it. Oh my goodness, this is absolutely brilliant by young Rez. That's the form we saw in Oakland. That's the player we want to see on the server every single time. Now Yugi can't do anything about it. We're all tied up. 11-11. 4 kills for Rez. Absolutely superb by him. It was quite a game up until that point for him. That's his 16th frag. So at that 4, he's only hovering around 12 kills. But precision here. Great movement. Good awareness as to what's coming around him. It makes it look easy. That should be maximum loss by this next round. So let's go for a little bit of investment here. Deagle CZs, but there we go. Optic now presumably going to lose that lead. It was looking so good for them at the start of this map.
11-11. Common scoreline also indicates in the late stages it becomes an economic battle as much as anything. And Optic, as you mentioned, with the loss bonus at maximum in the next round, have to be weary of a reset as well. Dennis Scap finds it. Config ran directly toward it rather than crossing over, which now his teammate with bomb. Cajun Beat will do. Rez, good hold. Dennis finds Cajun even jumping, and that's a pretty solid round. Shots are lining up. Nip starting to show us the skill we expect from them.
Yeah, this is looking great now. Dennis looking fantastic with the AWP. Rez with the M4. Now I can see some smiles and some faces. That's what we needed. More communication. I want to see them fired up. I want to see them want this. They've stolen the lead back. The second half has been very forgiving for them. 7-1 in their favour after losing out to the third round forced by... Well, it wasn't even that. It was a third round eco, I should say. Felt like that's where it all went wrong, but they've stabilised everything. Timeout for Optic now. Rugger can get stuck in. Yugi considers purchasing the AWP. He's got $6,100. He definitely can afford to do so. It's Cajun B at the top of the charts. He has been playing phenomenally well, but it's not necessarily the name you want up there. You want your configs, your Yugis, potentially Gade from what we've seen so far, but Cajun can't deny the excellence he's shown on overpass. NIP 12, Optic 11. Dennis finding some confidence now. Doesn't nail the first shot right through the wickets there. No hold back.
Relying on Rez to make sure the underpass is covered off. Lots of utility deployed in doing so. 2 smokes. That's all they've got left on the CT side. Minute 28 still to work with. Force jumping, spotting. Falling off. Doesn't want to stand behind the wooden wall, knowing that he was seen in turn and therefore could have been sprayed down as there was 2 versus 1 in that position. And on top of that, they're going to boost. Look for the barrels. Window, though, almost counters that. Get right. Couldn't quite hit the shot. Nade will do less damage than I would have thought. Landed above as config dropped down to 93 HP. So only 7 taken from that. Disappointing at times that the nades get limited so much by debris and angles on the map.
Well then, it was very quiet once again. The pace is certainly slowed down since NIP have got back into the game. First kill for Lectro. Towards B they go, and NIP look very convincing now. 5 versus 3, but config fighting back. If they can find this kill, there's a chance. But get right. He'll take down their nemesis, and flashbangs are decent. 3 on 2, Snappy and Yugi. The latter of which with the AWP, not an ideal weapon in this particular scenario. Get right confirms the round, I would say. Yugi with 1 smoke. Might want to throw it towards short, but he doesn't really have any sort of footing into this round whatsoever. He got 10 seconds. That's a nice shot. But at this point, all they have to do is deny the plant. No one has to go for the trade. There it is. Dennis can afford to sacrifice himself. Get up. Oh my goodness, he's actually got away with this.
Oh, that shot though, not hitting it, made matters worse because they were able to get closer, play off of each other, and now it's NIP to find a 13th round. So not only the lead, but 2-round advantage, and it's been pretty solid. Only 1 round dropped in this entire half. It was, oddly enough, against pistols. But they recovered immediately after with the single gun from Dennis, if you remember correctly, the boost at Park Sign.
Indeed, that was the turning point for me.
Oh, big time.
That was 3 follow well, and Nip can do this. This is the Nip I wanted to see today. They look a lot more efficient, they're hitting shots, they're trading, not just relying on pistols now. We'll see Rez continuing to show confidence here. Knows he's capable of being the best aimer on the server. He can be, if he gets his head in the right space. Overwhelmed by config, who's also pretty handy with the old rifles. Good nade in response, but still 5. Make it 4 on 4 now. Dennis helps himself to a nice free kill on config towards long. Dennis looking sharp at that orb. This will be a difficult round now for Optic. They're starting to drop off, and NIP are just swelling in terms of their skill and overall demeanor. Gade will get 1 back. That's Forrest going down. That was him pushing towards T-spawn as well. An unnecessary play, perhaps. We didn't quite catch it, but he's pushing Monster Tunnel all the way towards T-spawn, trying to make something happen. He got decent progression towards the spawn area, but Gade was just waiting patiently. Took him down.
Lekro waiting. Will work back out with the M4 and hold a sharp angle at water. Get right, therefore gets beside him. Can play off both positions. Lekro holds and catches Cage free, but can watch Monster more importantly. Lekro good read, knowing that a kill at Monster and smokes coming in was indeed indicative of a take from Monster. It still is down to Dennis in a 1 versus 2. Bomb planted for OPTICAL as well, and he's on an AWP to try and make the retake a possibility, missing the first shot. He'll swap over immediately to the M4. 1 of 2 that was down on the ground. Grabs a kit as well and wants to get on top of the bomb, but he's in the wrong spot. The smoke's in fact not on it, making things far more difficult and awkward for him. In fact, tapping the bomb, no one even checks it. He's done nothing.
Yeah, that's a ballsy move by Optic, and they win the round from it. They can assume that he's going to have the kit, right? They've won 4 or 5 rounds in a row. If they do take the educated guess that he's not going to full defuse in 2 versus 1, why would you really? You're just setting yourself up for a disaster. They call together, he's not going for it, and it works out for them. He could have full defused it, but it's just not really ever going to be a viable option in those sort of scenarios. You assume one of them will peek you have to guess which side, but Optic there not risking anything. Made sure they stayed secure, kept everyone alive. Money's still very strong for an IP. They've got 1 more buy after this, but it's 13-12. See Lekro and Forest. Just running for grenades this round. 1 minute 20, just a flashbang between those two. Rest of them fairly well equipped. Now for Yugi. Will he be able to test Dennis, who has looked pretty sharp so far? Rez also strong towards middle. They haven't really been able to shut him down too much. Spamming towards the bomb site. Config not landing anything just yet. 3 players at A. Forest and Lekro hold towards B. There's Rez. That is the classic one and done position, but you're normally baited in by your AWPer. He will have to check long every now and then just to back them up. Rez with the off angle now.
Boost. Yep.
Ooh, there's a footstep.
Doesn't matter if they go out to find it. The op dies first. They know there's 2, and Yugi destroys him with the op. That's not a rifle kill at close range. That's an op. Get right with 1 back, but Optic closing back in on NIP could tie this at 13-13 on this round as Forrest works back toward the done. Okay, fair enough. He's already called it. Lekro bails out, so too does Forrest. We find ourselves tied up.
They have to save these weapons as well. We did say the money was starting to run out, but great stuff from Yugi. That boost, even with a footstep, like he said, didn't seem to matter as they get up and get right is forced to pick up the AWP. Sometimes brings it out and gets 1, and before he's taken down. 2 kills for Yugi. Shows as he's still firing on all cylinders with the AWP and Lekro and Forest, the B players. For longest of the time in NIP, it was Freiburg and Exist in towards that B site. When they had a little bit of a resurgence, that was actually quite a promising duo on this map. So now Forest and Lekro. Forest who's primarily on the A side before, sometimes all things on the CT side. (13-13). They can buy up into this one. This might decide the fate of the game, mainly for Optic. If they can win this round, I would say that's them getting the 2-0. If NIP can do it, they'll keep themselves in the game and have a chance to take us to a 3rd. This is very, very important. We're coming to the very latter stages here. 13-13, much better showing from NIP. Really enjoyed some of the boosts they've been doing. Tactical assertion coming through, showing us that still rebuilding, and Overpass seems to be a much better map for them, at least today.
Forrest gets toward the pit. Yugi's going to flash himself out at long. Successful with 2 op kills in this position. Well, they're about this portion of the map last time. Not exactly. This position is going to find yet another, but this time it comes at a cost. He's lost his teammate in Snappy. Smoked off as well. Dennis will retreat to the site. This round is everything. Optic want to close this series in 2 maps. Nip, desperate to stay in the upper bracket. Means they get the rest of the day off. They can get to work in preparing for ENTS because, again, the upper bracket, you win that. Even if you don't win the final, you're into the challenger stage, which is the ultimate goal.
That's why everyone's here. Sure, money's fantastic, but the main drive should be getting the most prestigious tournament we have. The FACEIT Major coming up in September here in London, England. If you haven't got a ticket already, go get one. It's going to be absolutely epic. Can't wait for that. Either way, Lecro.
I'll be in the stands.
Yeah? Your UK flag on?
Canada.
Here we go, Forrest to defend. He's been great in the B-side so far. He's got anything left? Apparently not. Lecro does, though. Waiting in water, needs to connect this spray, but it's a little bit too wild for him. Dennis left at another 2 versus 1 bomb to go down. 10 seconds remaining. There was a high-pressure situation there, but not for Cajun. He holds his nerve and manages to shut everything down. We did say this is the most important round so far. Not only on the precipice of winning, they have now shut down the finance of NIP. They're going to have to take a timeout here and work out what the play is. Do they go for the force buy? Do they commit and try and deny series points? Or do they take the eco and try and squeeze out 2 gun rounds?
Well, it'll be the latter. As they buy into the pistols. Desperate shots from Dennis. Trying to clip the edge of the tree through the small little fence, railing, whatever you will, and toward the T-stairs. Change it up and go toward long. Optic have pulled this back in the nick of time. Eagle for Dennis behind the tree. Do they spray it? Oh, he peeks it. Gives him up. Now they certainly will. He wants to change to the close rock instead, trying to find another angle, but vision not restored in time to find at least the detail. That would be a headshot from the Deagle. So Config winning out the first kill. Looks well for Optic to find map point early enough yet, and we know that NIP have been absolutely terrific on pistols and force buys throughout this game. But this is a whole different problem because Optic are sorting this as a team. Gade's even anchoring toward Monster to make sure there was no counter push from NIP.
They can still win this round of pistols. It isn't a foregone conclusion. If they just walk in contact play and Reds comes in behind them like this, it could fall apart. Can't get the CZ kill. That was their chance, but Forrest is still there. Can he find the second one, Dig? He's lined it up. He's got teammates there as well. These pistols are so powerful for NIP. The flames start to consume Forrest. Can he find anything more? He can't. He'll be taken down. It's Get Right and Lecro. They're both there on the side. This is absolutely everything for NIP. Lecro fighting back, but there's too many players there for him. 15 to 13. 2 rounds in a row required from NIP. They've got a full buy ahead of them, though. They can definitely still do this, but pressure now relieved for Optic.
Pressure relieved. Last-ditch buy from NIP. Or else they'll hit the reset button and play for survival tonight against Sprout. And the next best of 3 coming up immediately after this. Get right down to the underpass. Smoked off, won't be able to see the door. That allows both Cajun and Config through toward water, and they immediately go for a boost. A fast one at that, and they nail Lecro at barrels. They also spotted Forrest up close and jumping, but that allows Get Right back in. They had no idea that he was behind, and a huge 2 kills for Get Right, because that is the start of recovery in this round.
There we go. Lovely stuff there from NIP. It's still possible in the 4-on-2. Snappy with a good flashbang, but does get out of position by Dennis. Still hits the shot, but takes a dink in the process, down to 4 HP. Gives him the AWP, and Snappy, no stranger to the weapon. He was a secondary AWP in Heroic. Way back when? Well, it's not that even that long ago. About a year ago, 6 months. Yugi will take the AK-47. You give the AWP up, or the low HP player the AWP, because it means he can hold angles, take 1 shots, and your teammate with high HP, even though he's the better AWP, can get stuck in, get the intel, and protect the AWP. Can they close it out now? I would say probably not, but they do have smokes and Molotovs. We'll see what's available to them.
Positioning of Get Right still very promising. Has the underpass position. He'll hear them if they rotate back. Smokes now land on the A site. He knows that's not a fake because of where he's located. He is a far way away, though. If his teammates go down, Forrest, good recovery.
That trade
Yugi's only with 8. You're right.
Well, here we go. Yugi faking out, I think, the fact he's going to plant. And there we go. NIP win the round. What are the finances like for Optic? They've got another buy here. Pretty comfortable one. Yugi might not be able to get the AWP. He's got 7k right now, but his teammate Gade has only got 3,000. Snappy 3,600. He needs to decide now. Does he get the AWP? They'll take a pause. Or does he drop weaponry for the teammates and give them 5 AKs? Otherwise, could be... That one's down to a Deagle here. Gade has already purchased armor and utility with no pistol, suggests they will drop AKs.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that he bought that out and hasn't got a gun, he gets an AK thrown to him, and that means no op. The other option, obviously, was to go and put Gade potentially in an SMG or a Galil, and then try and bring out the op and go for the early pick.
Well. Round number 30. NIP pull one back. One more for overtime. We've seen a lot of overtimes this tournament, more so than usual. It's to be expected at a minor, I guess, where you have less experienced teams.
Snappy. UMP will run toward the playground. Dennis is up against the wall. Now, does he realize? He certainly will. He's gone the right way. Oh. He's gone back towards Snappy. I was going to say, if Snappy got behind him, does he realize he's there? It doesn't matter when it works in that fashion. Lycro, meanwhile, to B, drops bomb temporarily. First shot to Gade. Flash out as well. 8 HP, takes a dink in the process, backs off. Both have taken damage. Dennis as well is on 11. But it's 2 kills and no responses. Let's get right as well at the sandbags. Has the reverse angle, missed shots, but that gives Forrest a chance to walk back in. Still, though, the bomb to be planted. Lycro adding further kills. It's Yugi in a 1 versus 3. He'll need 4 kills in the round in total. Minute to work with. That's not so much the issue as it is getting the bomb and getting position. He could run this toward A, but he's unsure of that. Trying to make noise. Trying to bait them out. What? Somehow that works. Was that intentional?
That was 100 HP and a Glock. I assume he didn't have head armor. I heard a dink come through. Dennis go for the spam.
He could have, but he doesn't. 11 HP. That smoke, it's going to give Yugi a chance to get away. Does catch, but it was a bait. He catches the jumping Dennis. Rez slides in. We've got overtime.
My God. There we go. Pitt is trying to get them fired up. Not celebrating just yet. I guess they're trying to keep themselves calm. But that's well done by NLP. 15-13 down. They reset everything. We did not swap halves here. It's 10K. MR3, first to 19 at the top. It was 18-18. We replay into double overtime, where everything will be reset once again. CTs might be better off not purchasing helmets in these particular rounds. You want to save the money. It's not like any other event where we have 16Ks. You can see, there we go. 3 players on the NLP without helmets, just making sure they save any cash they can. Every dollar really counts. Especially if you're going for the double orb setups, which they won't. Rez has the orb, that's for the best spawn. Doesn't connect the shot. Yugi, he's on the AWP now. Dennis has been so prolific towards long. Him and Config is quite a tantalizing battle. Will there be the trade? Yugi can't find it. This could be the double kill for Dennis. He's done so much damage here. Throws a grenade. 2 of them dinked up, and it's a 5-on-4. NIP, fantastic work. Really have found their footing on overpass.
Get right to back away. Certainly have held down their footing. They've trials and tribulations, had a late lead and then lost it, let it slip away and still pulled it back. Pistol rounds, not just opening of the half pistol rounds, but force buy pistols have been a massive story for them as well. Yugi missing a shot. Dennis able to slide out underneath of his aim, but gets countered as CageNB finds the immediate response. Rez, the next in the line on the op, has Get Right also burrowed in the bathrooms. Spotted. Cajun can't hit it. Goes back out. Make no mistake the second time.
3-on-3 map. Rez. Definitely handy with the AWP. Manages to find Cajun. 30 seconds now. Gade. Has been so good for this squad, but didn't find the insta-kill, and that should be round Snappy. There's no real say in this. With 16 HP, 3 kills to find, and barely any time. Has to make his way forward towards the site. He's not going to save the weapon, he knows that. But if he can take down Lekro quickly, there is an AWP on the other side. Not going to happen though. Lekro holds his own. First round for NIP. I'm loving the aggression from Dennis. He really is sabotaging any plans they've got. He seems to be winning every single duel he finds. Manages to push towards long. Did a ton of damage there. Found the first kill. Dinked another. Fell back. Took down Yugi eventually. Snappy can't do anything in 3 versus 1. Money effect on the T side as well. You've seen burning up orbs. You can see they've actually got now down to $50 on Yugi. Config 300. So next round they lose this. They've been in a lot of trouble.
Molotov lands in the underpass position. Cajun's trying to hold it to see if anyone would cross over. No one will. Config. Wants to clear the bathrooms out. They need to be cautious. Dennis, thankfully his teammates are, and they're still holding off on that angle. Spraying in from both directions. Little crossfire setup. Flash in. Dennis can actually strike. No one watching from the stairs, and they look away. They line up. 2 kills for him. Yugi not in a position to respond. Cajun will, but it might be too late.
Yeah, he gets damaged in the process. So 2.5 kills there for Dennis again. So strong right now.
31 in total.
Yeah, doing a great job. Just when NIP needed him. Looking like a 2-0 here. And like we said, money's pretty sabotaged for Optic for the final round. Still bringing this one back. It comes down to this or peak. Gets hit up. Yugi takes a bullet, but gives one back in return. Finds Rez. I think he got shot right through the corner. Didn't actually do too much damage now. 3 versus 3. 2 players on the A side for NIP. Lekra rotating in from CT steps. Actually heads towards bank now. Kits, of course. Forest with a smoke. Get right. Holding a very tight angle. It's finding the players crossing over.
Forces Lekra forward. Cajun though gets 1. Look for Lekra to spray back. 2. Not quite. Gained the response faster than he can make.
They can't win.
He can't. You're right. There's no time. Forrest is aware. Look where the bomb is.
No way.
Forrest just sat back waiting to see if there would be a plant. There wasn't. NIP get 2 in a row.
God damn it. That was so close for up there. I thought they'd done enough there. Didn't quite keep track of the time. NIP really doing a good job now. Holding up when they get the equal situations, making sure they hold the sights, run that clock down as much as possible. If they get a bit more time there, they win the round, but it wasn't the case. They do manage to save a couple of bits of weaponry, though. No AWP on the CT side now. Yugi has his config on just a Deagle, but his Deagle's pretty phenomenal. Looking for 1 round here. NIP certainly with the advantage here. No nades to Snappy or Yugi. From the previous round.
Cajun works back up. They clear out the underpass, and very, very static defense from NIP. You can see it on the minimap. Just lining up a lot across the sites at the back of the map. Smoke boost. Yugi's heading that direction. Pre-scoped as well. Up they go. Rez won't jump far enough as of yet. Watching the close side. Oh, he had that shot, but residue of the smoke that remained, and they couldn't quite see it. He does see us at that time. No shot lands. As we still sit with NIP in the lead, not only in this half with 2 rounds, but in this round specifically by getting Gade, forced the one to do so. Yugi gets forward, and they want to get that op closer to the A site. Position is in accordance with the truck and the back stairs, meaning they can open up from long, but they have a good crossfire set. Good find from Rez. Drops the bomb yet again. It is all on Cajun being a 1 versus 2 or a clean sweep from NIP in overtime, at least the first half. And quick tap on the plant. He's hesitating on what to do. That allows them to get much closer. He does at least find Forrest, but can't find the kill on him. 18 to 15 for NIP.
Clean sweep. 1 more round will do it for the Ninjas to take us to Inferno. Optic not looking as powerful as they once did. They need the clean sweep as well just to take us to overtime. They can't even win in this half. They just need to find the rounds. Definitely capable of doing so. Just 3. Will they go for a double AWP setup themselves? Definitely have that potential with Cajun and Yugi, but they opt to save the money here to get into the first round of the second half.
Oh, yeah.
Get right toward Monster immediately. Optic will swing the map. Clear out long with a bit of aggression. They haven't gone far enough to confirm that playground is clear, but they want to try and pincer the chance that NIP is going toward B. They've got to take a few chances in getting into the underpass. Get right. Oh, great shot. Catches out Config on the return to the sandbag position. Door opens behind him, and he's well aware of what that means. He's coming alive. Get right with 2.
This is looking like it's going to finish right here. NIP looking likely to take us to a 3rd. Get right. He managed to win things out yesterday for them in the winning round with 2 kills. Has he done the same thing here? 5 on 3. NIP knocking on the door of Inferno. Less than a minute. Occasion B pushing towards long. I'm not sure how they recover this. Will he go any further? Forrest will be waiting for him, but the timing does elude him. Takes him down. Occasion looking for the trade. They can send 2 players here. As long as they take him down, no problem at all, even if one drop there. That should be it now. I don't see a world where Optic win this round. As they head back towards B, NIP will have the bomb. Making their way towards that side. Gade even considering an A-side attack as he leaves the site.
He touches out Rez. Still a chance for Optic, but it all relies on Gade, and he's forced by Flames out of position. Still catches the bomb from Dennis. 13 seconds, and Lecro, if he could have found that kill, might have secured the round in itself. Instead, they'll get back to a plant position, and it all relies on Yugi's AWP.
Oh, he could have denied the bomb there. If he thrown the Molotov slightly to the left, it would have been enough, but Lecro's going to take him down here, surely. And there it is. Get right to get the final kill. We are going to Inferno. Ladies and gentlemen, NIP have done it. It looked like they were getting absolutely battered and bruised here on Overpass. It's their pick. You can see why now. They really did warm up into this series, looking much better in the second half. It was troublesome at times. You can see the general demeanor of the team that looks much better, look more confident with themselves. That's a big victory for them. And Inferno is a great map for them as well, so hopefully we can see even more fireworks as we continue in this series. Cajun B did his work in the first half, but it was Dennis, I have to say, in the second who really ran away with the game. Absolutely epic from him. Great rifle aggression, good AWPing, and we find ourselves here on Inferno, still with a lot to play for him.
And you said it as well. The pistol rounds and 4 spies were impressive. If they could get the gun rounds going, they had a case, and they certainly did. Get right looked sharp in the last few rounds. We're going to head over, Inferno.
Yes.
We finish Overpass and sort this series out. We'll be back after the break.